Hello everyone and welcome back to Aiche. My name is Hannah and today I wanted to talk about one of my favourite films, Hercules. It's probably my boyfriend's favourite film as well. We've seen it many times. I watched it the other day at his. It's a great film. It's a great family film. If you haven't seen it already, go watch it. It is a film by the Walt Disney Company in 1997, directed by John Musker and Ron Clements. It is an animated musical, of course. They are in the Disney Renaissance. And it is one of my favourite, if not my favourite, Disney animated movie. So if you are interested, please grab a cup of coffee and enjoy. Hercules is based on the Greek myth Heracles, with the son of Zeus, who had his immortality taken away by Hades and sent down to Earth. In the Disney film, Hades is a cocky, blue fire-haired guy who is incredibly funny. He is one of my favourite bad guys in Disney. I love him so much. He is... In Greek mythology, he is never really a villain anyway, but obviously we see hell and that kind of darkness as evil. So Hades is often portrayed as an evil villain. Although he is evil, he has a short temper. He is very cool and calm a lot of the time as well. So he's quite funny, very much a comedic character as well. Many of the characters in the film are comedic too. It's a great, funny, really great songs as well. We start off Hercules with the Muses who sing about the gods, and their music is so cool. It is gospel. They are incredible singers. I'm so excited for this to come to the West End next year. I will definitely be watching it. The Muses songs are my favourite bit. If I could sing like them, oh my god, I wish I could. The Muses are an integral part of Hercules, and honestly, I'm so glad they're there. They're often there just to add a little bit of context, just to add a little bit of fun. They sing about Hercules' achievements later on, and then they sing with Meg as well about her falling in love as sort of like backing singers. But they really do hold their own, and they are incredible characters on their own right. Then we get to Hercules, who is born, and Zeus and Hera are showing him off to the other gods. One thing to know about Zeus in this version, he is a good guy and he does not sleep with every other woman he sees. Although maybe he does, we just don't see that. Hera seems pretty happy though. Hera is not annoyed. I don't know how Hera stays with Zeus this long. We need to do a whole video on Greek mythology at some point, but anyway. So they have this kid, and then Hades comes and sort of berates him and finds out by the three women of life who cut the strings of life. They decide when people die, essentially, and so they can see the past, the present, and the future. And Hades asks them, well, what's going to happen in the future? I want to take over the world. And they say, yes, you can do this. When the moons align, when the planets align in 18 years, he will rule, and the monsters will come out, the titans will come out, and you can use them to defeat the gods and rule Olympus and the whole earth, essentially. But the one thing is getting in his way is Hercules, of course. If Hercules lives, he will defeat Hades, and he will not be able to take over the world, essentially. So Hades is a bit annoyed, so he trains Pain and Panic, who are these lovable, funny little creature things, to get baby Hercules and kill him. Kind of dark to start off a kids show. They do not succeed, of course. They give him the potion to diminish his immortality, so that he will become mortal. But they forget the last drop. Well, they get surprised by Hercules' soon-to-be parents, and they drop the bottle, and the last drop obviously falls out. Hercules grows up, of course, not dead, and he becomes a strong guy in the village, causing havoc. There is this scene where the kids are playing with a frisbee, and he tries to grab the frisbee. He's an idiot. This scene really annoys me because we're supposed to feel sorry for him, but I don't feel any sympathy for this because it was so his fault. Why did he go and try and catch this frisbee anyway? I mean, I'm not sure how a frisbee can take a whole full-grown man. Anyway, But then after the pillars start falling, he goes to grab another pillar and then makes some more pillars start falling. So, you know, Hercules, what are you doing, man? You have every right to be hated. I would also hate you if I was the guy in the pot shop who gets taken out by him, essentially. His pots all break, so I would be pissed if I was him. So, you know, Hercules finds out then through a beautiful song, I Will Go the Distance, that he is in fact a god and the son of Zeus. And so he goes on a journey to become a hero where he finds Philoctetes, Phil, played by Danny DeVito. I love Phil. He is funny. Well, I also really don't like Phil. Phil is sort of a weird character. He is both funny and also just awful to women. He is very horny all the time. I mean, maybe that's the joke because he is half goat and he does have goat horns. But it's a bit uncomfortable, really. He is berating these nymphs, and when they start running away, he like goes and chases after them and like grabs them and things. I'm like, that is not good. And later on, he goes to Meg and sits on her knee, and it's anyway. So he goes to Phil, and Phil's like, well, I tried to train all these people, including Achilles, who gets snagged by his heel and dies. And so he's like, well, you know, are you going to be like them? Are you like, I don't want to do this if you're just going to be a dud again. But Hercules is like, no, I'm actually really strong. I can do this. And so he trains him through this really great song and a montage. I don't think that song is the best song. It's okay, but you know, it's an okay song. Danny DeVito was not the best singer, so I think that's probably the issue. Anyway, so at the end of it, I'm assuming it's been a few months or a few years. I'm not really sure how long this time frame is. But now Hercules is big and strong. So he goes to find Megara, who is being harassed by this centaur. I forgot to mention Pegasus, his obviously, you know, flying horse, who is also, again, another comedic character, and we like him. Centaurs are, in fact, known for being a little bit sexual, a little bit too much for women, and they have been known to rape women in Greek mythology. So it's an interesting add to this. Megara lately says that he made her an offer she can't refuse, and we can only imagine what that offer might have been. So it's probably a good job she said no. Hercules goes and he fights this centaur and wins, of course, and Meg is unimpressed, and she tells Hades all about it, and he's mad at Pain and Panic for not telling him about Hercules. So he gives Hercules a load of different tasks to do while he tries to defeat Hercules with many different monsters. Well, the first one of which is a dragon that if you chop its head off, many more heads grow. So he defeats that one, everyone cheers, he is now a hero, Zero to Hero. We get the incredible song Zero to Hero by the Muses. I love this song, it's so fun and gospel and it's great. It's a great song. It's a great montage to show just how many monsters Hercules defeats, and he becomes a celebrity. This is something that I think is very different to many other Disney films, because many of their characters, although they become like kings or queens or princesses and stuff, they're not necessarily... they don't really show the bad side of it, and Hercules is clearly a bit overwhelmed with all these people trying to get pictures of him. So the fame is not always the best, and Hercules kind of wants more of a quiet life, in fact. He's enjoyed it for a little bit, but he also kind of wants his quiet life. He is then berated by a bunch of women. This film is a bit weird. He's harassed by these women, and he managed to scramble away from them with the help of Phil. And Phil then does this weird smile and jumps out to catch up to them. So, yeah. Meg is left there, and so she spends the day with him to learn his secrets. Unfortunately, Hercules doesn't have any weaknesses, like Achilles' heel, for instance, and she goes back to Hades and is like, yeah, he doesn't have any weaknesses. You're done. You can't do this. And he's like, yeah, he does have a weakness. Because, of course, his weakness is his love for her. Phil overhears Megara talking to Hades about trying to defeat Hercules. Obviously takes it the wrong way, and it's something that every film does. Shrek does it. other films do it. I can't think of any other films, but you know, it's a bit of a cliche. And so he falls out with Hercules because Hercules doesn't believe him. Phil is like, well, Hades is going to defeat you. And he's like, no, what are you on about, Phil? I don't like you. And Phil's like, okay, bye then. Hades comes to Hercules and is like, yeah, if you want to save your girlfriend, you got to give me all your powers for a day. And he's like, okay, that's fine. It is a day, the planets align. So all the Titans are awoken. They come and they defeat Zeus very, very easily. There's not a lot of action in this film, which is kind of disappointing. But they very easily defeat Zeus somehow. And the rest of the gods who are quite useless. But of course, Hercules come back because in the contract that was not written up but kind of like spoken, if Meg gets hurt, Hercules gets his power back. She gets hurt, he gets his power back, he defeats the Cyclops, he defeats the rest of the monsters, and he defeats Hades, of course. So, woo, well done Hercules. That is a bit of a anticlimactic finish there because it was very, very quick, and he defeats them extremely quickly, and as soon as he gets Zeus out of his little rock pile, Zeus is helping him, and it's not that hard for them to defeat the rest of the monsters. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully in the stage production there's more to it than that. I feel like this fight scene was very, very anticlimactic and boring. Anyway, Meg dies, shocker, and she gets taken to the underworld by Hades, and so Hercules is like, well, I've got to save her. So he goes to try and save her. He jumps in the pool of dead people to try and save her, and giving his life to Hades. But because he is now mortal, he is starting to die in the pool of dead. The women who cut the ropes of life are taking out Hercules' string, starting to cut it, and just in the nick of time, Zeus grants him godhood and he becomes immortal again. So he does not die and takes out Meg. Sorry, spoilers. In the process, kicks Hades into the pool of dead people where Pain and Panic will not see him for a while. And we all live happily ever after. He goes up to Olympus with Meg and everyone loves him. Hera is still happy that Zeus is sleeping with other women. And they all hug and embrace, but he decides to go back to Earth and become mortal with Meg so that he can have a life with her. So what a beautiful ending. It is one of my favourite musicals, one of my favourite Disney films. Like I said, me and my boyfriend watch this all the time, and yeah, it's a really, really great one. I really wanted to talk about it mostly because of the Muses. I think the Muses songs are so cool. And I really hope the musical is like that. I saw a clip of them singing Zero to Hero, I believe, at an award ceremony. I don't know which one it is. I'll try and find it. But yeah, it's a really great film. One of my favourite films. I don't know why I'm talking about it really. I just have nothing else to talk about. I will try and think of some more interesting things to talk about after I come back from my holiday. Hopefully you will be seeing this while I am in a sunny beach in Cyprus. Right now in the UK it is raining, so I am looking forward to that. But if you did enjoy this video, I am so glad you did. Please like and subscribe. Comment down below your favourite bit of Hercules. I will be back with a video of Cyprus. I'm hoping to get a little bit of a vlog out when I come back, so stay tuned for that and see you in the next one. Bye bye.